I just wasn't a good dude when it came to that. And a lot of that had to do with my upbringing and my childhood. Again, what was enabled and what I was exposed to. If that was my norm, why second guess it if I think that's how it is supposed to be? There's a lot of family sexual brokenness. So growing up in the Philippines up until I was 12, their sex was a physical act that didn't have any emotions to it. And it was something that men would take and get and receive from a woman as if I was going to go out and get a bite to eat. I grew up in more or less these brothels and houses, and being 5, 6, 7 years old, being around that environment, you think this is just how this is normal.
Wow, because you were just brought along to those environments?
Yeah. There's no such thing as age limits. There's no such thing as restrictions to put with protection in mind for the minors, to shield minors from potential harm. And so the kids in the neighborhood, we'd find ourselves. And of course, what do you tell a kid? Hey, don't do this. What are we going to do? We're going to do that. Hey, don't do this. And so what we were told was, you guys can hang out and go in and out of the bar area, the social area, public area of the business. More or less, it was a bar. And American soldiers, airmen that were stationed there, and this is where they would hang out, pay the bar fine or the cover charge, and 2-drink, 3-drink minimum. And the girls that worked the bar would entertain the patrons. And what we were told was to never go in the back rooms. Guess what kids are going to do? Why? I'm going to go find out why. But at a very young age, when it came to the physical act and nature of sex, I wasn't exposed to pornography from my dad's Playboy. From the men that I've come across, it was accidental discovery of pornography around the house. For me, it was live sex acts in a whorehouse is what my exposure was.
Wow, starting so young too.
Yeah. And I can, through therapy and counseling over the years, I realized then, because all this stuff, of course, was suppressed, forgotten about up until doing the work. And there was shame. I knew what I was witnessing, there was something wrong with it as far as how I was witnessing it. But at the same time, what hooked me was, this is also something in this, whatever's going on here is very exciting. And I wanted more of it. And so there's that. And then there's familial molestation and sexual abuse. You could chalk it up to that. I could see how somebody else, if you were to ask the other person that was involved, they'd say that was just kids being kids trying to explore bodies. But
so it was like older kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And relatives. And so a lot of physical contact sexually, but under the premise of, don't tell anyone about this. It's not meant to be shared. No one's supposed to know about this stuff. So at a very young age, I knew that the physical act of sex, the feel good of sex was ingrained, but I also knew that there was something shameful about it because you weren't supposed to tell anybody. And so early on, the whole pattern of secrecy and sex being a commodity, not to be used in the way it was designed by my creator. And that just manifested itself into my adult behaviors, a lot of risky behaviors.